Hi, I'm Eric Zolke from PRB, and I'm here in Accra, Ghana for the 6th Annual Conference for the Population and Poverty Research Network, otherwise known as PopPov. PopPov is a collection of researchers who look at how population dynamics affect the economy, especially in Africa. This week, with the University of Ghana as the local host, we'll be looking at new research on population, reproductive health, and economic development, and how this evidence can influence policy. So let's find out more.
The PopPov Network is particularly important because it's bringing together some of our best young investigators with the most senior people in the field. It's building a cadre of people who are doing top quality research and are already thinking about what the policy implications are and how they're going to present their findings in a way that broad audiences can actually understand them and make use of them.
Looking at the goals of this conference, the relationship between reproductive outcomes and economic development. So PopPov has a definite unique characteristic, which I hope would be sustained. So it makes it quite distinct from other associations or meetings. Yeah.
The PopPov Network is primarily intended to build a field, connect the fields of economics with the fields of demography and the study of reproductive health outcomes to really inform, create an evidence base that uses new data and new methods to answer cutting-edge policy questions about how changes in demographic conditions can affect economic growth and how changes at the household level in fertility and health outcomes can affect income and household welfare.
First of all, we have evidence that explains through better birth spacing as a result of family planning, children have higher levels of survival and women have better health. What happens then is that women can participate in the labor force more effectively and children go to school, develop cognitively, and can be employed in the labor force. From a bigger perspective, this issue of a demographic dividend, which happens when population structures change and the younger generations become smaller in proportion to the total, is critical to achieving economic development. We're seeing more and more evidence about that. And yet, it's just the first step in moving toward economic development. There has to be the investment also in education, in job creation, and ultimately in social security and how to deal with an older population. But it all has to begin by changing the age structure, and family planning is critical to achieving that goal.
But I think we also have that moral obligation to make sure that our research findings are also communicated to policy. And so that is, I think, one essential aspect about PopPov, how this evidence-based research could be made available to policymakers.
In terms of the complexities of establishing causal relationships and really honing the messages from some of the studies so that they can be understood by and used by the policy community, we've got some distance to go. So we'll look forward at the 7th PopPov Conference to seeing progress along those lines.
It's interesting that research just takes a long time. And so it's the fact that this is a network that goes on in time that I think is going to build that critical mass of researchers and evidence. It doesn't happen in a couple of years. It happens over the long haul. The senior people at this conference have been working on these issues for a long time. They know how much effort has to be exerted. The fact that the PopPov Network is something that goes on in time is very, very important.
Well, I thought this conference was great. It was the first PopPov conference that I've been to. I know it's the 6th, but it was the first one I've been to. and to see the energy and the creativity that the young researchers bring to these questions, how clever they are about using data sets in new ways, and how committed they are to really asking questions that answer important policy relevant questions. I thought it was terrific.